Square of Health, the interactive corner. But if this is your first time joining us, my name is Leslie Cole and I am the host of this square. Now, one of the topics that I want to continue to discuss throughout the Square of Health is beauty. And the book definition of beauty is a quality or a group of qualities in a person or thing that gives pleasure to our senses or elevates our mind or spirit. So my mission for today's video is to, help you guys find out what makes you feel beautiful. And joining me today, I have...
Hello, baby. How's it going?
Thank you. So how are you today?
I'm feeling good. The sun is out. I woke up, wiggle my toes.
Absolutely.
Happy to be here.
I'm happy to have you. Thank you so much. So excited.
I'm excited.
So you want to tell everybody what it is that you do for your profession or how you make money, blah, blah, blah.
Oh, so I make money. I'm an independent contractor. I do lash extensions, which is interesting because today's episode is about beauty. And we are going to get into enhanced beauty and why we think that's on the rise and stuff. For me, though, I'm really big on integrating inner and outer beauty as one. So to be able to help women feel better about themselves through my profession. And then I also, I really like the relaxed environment of doing lashes. It's quiet. I have a lot of people that they're just really grateful to have some quiet time to themselves. So that helps it be a little bit more rewarding for me.
Okay, so when I'm not gonna, well, I guess I can say that because we do discover a lot of things on social media, but when I found you, it was actually from watching one of your videos where, I'm not sure exactly what it was, but you were, it was like a poem for Mother's Day, and it was a mashup poem with a bunch of different women.
Women's Day.
Women's Day, not Mother's Day, Women's Day.
For BBC?
Yes. That was like maybe the sixth video that I had seen, and I was like, you know what, I have to get in contact with her one day, and here we are.
So it's me. So, wait, what's the question?
I guess just what do you write, and what do you write for?
So I write poetry. That has nothing to do with lashes. And I just write when it comes to me. So I try to keep a notebook with me all the time because inspiration sometimes comes at the most inopportune time, but I'll get the beginning of it in my head, and there's been times that I have to like literally pull the car over and I just write. Usually what I write, it just comes out of my hand. I don't know how else to explain this.
Only creatives get it.
It comes out within maybe 20 to 30 minutes. It's not a long, drawn out process for me. It just all comes out. It's just all, I have to write it down. I can't do it in my notes on my phone. I have to write it, and it comes out fast. And if I don't catch it,
it goes away.
It goes to somebody else.
It goes to the universal subconscious, and it goes to somebody else's brain.
It goes to the next creative. So I have to catch it when it comes. And I do feel like a lot of times I'm just kind of being used as an instrument. And I'm grateful to be used as that. But when I started posting my poetry and stuff like that, it was never like for clout. It wasn't for a following. It was just like, wow. Like, I'm not even playing when I say, when I write something, I'll read it back and I'll be like, that was so cute. Like, it wasn't me that wrote it. I'm serious. That's the weirdest thing. So when I started posting, it was just more so like, yo, look at this. I'll post it, and then I would post as it, came along, and then I started getting a following for that, and I started having people like asking and waiting, like when the next one's gonna come, and I was like, yo, I don't know. It's not, I promise. I tried to sit down and write something myself, like just, all right, I'm gonna sit down, I'm gonna write this poem, I'm gonna post it. Trash. I started writing about text. I started writing about VVS, stupid stuff. So I'm like, yeah, this ain't me. This is not me. So I'm just the humble servant. Just kind of fulfilling whatever it is that this sounds crazy. I'm not at
That sounds crazy here.
Just trying to spread love, more love. There's love out here, but we definitely it's a little bit of a shortage in some areas. So yeah, I never was posting for that. I never wanted to like be famous, and then like people start reaching out to me and asking me when, and I'm like, I wanna give to y'all the way that y'all want, but I have to find a space that's conducive for my creativity to flow without pressure, or else I'm gonna start talking about protects.
Understandable, completely.
Nobody wants to hear that, I'm sure. Not for me.
A lot of people want to hear it, but I mean,
y'all would be mad if I was like, no. I'll be like, wait, you ain't mainstream on us?
So, what is beauty to you?
Beauty to me is love. So, just love in its true sense, I feel like harmony and honesty, compassion, just the things that come from love. It's just the most beautiful people to me seem like they're the most full of love. So like, the people that even if somebody's not really that attractive, that person that you make eye contact with on your way out of the store, I just feel like you're so beautiful. I'll let them know too, like you're so pretty. Just for that, because it's like just that interaction is very rare amongst.
No, like there are a few people when I'm at work, I look forward to like 5:15 when I get to pass a certain person and be like, oh hey, how's your day going? Because they just exhaust such beautiful energy.
Yeah.
So yeah, I completely understand that completely.
So the love, yeah, it's just the love. I just love love, and then people, like you said, they just exude such beautiful energy and auras. It's just like, oh.
So when did you find your passion in highlighting women's beauty?
So, once upon a time, I wasn't really the most pleasant person. I was always friendly, I would say, but I used to work in customer service, and I was like that chick who you didn't want to go through her line because she was just like, no.
Come on.
The manager gonna say the same thing. Like just a terrible attitude, and there was this one lady that would always come through my mind. I don't want to say hate it, but I just would be like, oh my god, here she come again. She was always like cussing and mumbling under her breath, and she was just like really like not put together. And one day she came in my line, she dropped all her stuff on my counter, and she just bust out crying. And I was like, she was a really brash person, so to even see that much emotion come out of her, I was just like, and she was like, he told me I only had 15 minutes to get back home, or he was gonna beat my, basically, her husband was giving her a time limit, or else he was gonna put his hands on her. And I never really realized that's what she had going on. Which ironically, at the time, I was in an abusive relationship as well. So it really made me realize that I never know what someone else is going through. So the best thing that I can do for any and everybody that I come in contact with is just try to brighten them up a little bit. So that's where, the compliments start coming in. And even the people that won't smile, you run into them 5-6 times a day, going through the hallway at work or whatever. It's kind of like, I'm going to get you, smile. I'm going to get you eventually. And then after that, I worked at the hospital. I started working on a neurological unit as a caregiver. And just listening to what some of the people was going through, brain tumors and, just their fear or them being uncomfortable in such an uncomfortable situation, I really started to find a lot of fulfillment in trying to make those people comfortable as best I could, considering their circumstances. So I guess just interacting with my fellow humans, and finding out.
Experiencing life, interacting with people who are experiencing different things than you. And
Yes.
yeah,
Yes,
just
yes, yes.
I feel like with me it was finding understanding a lot of things, finding fulfillment in, you know, a lot of things that I did outside of dealing with others, and yes, I guess going through the strife. I don't know.
Right. Just being human, like we're not that far off from the next person.
Mhm.
We all, I feel like we are the same person, honestly. Like, yeah, we might look a
Absolutely.
little different. Yeah, we might have different situations going on, but we all the same.
So we all come from the same place.
Yes.
So, what is the personal hobby that brings you joy?
I love to write, and I love to write while I'm sitting outside. Because a lot of times it's just being quiet and just observing just the littlest stuff, like just creation is, I can't even believe that, you know, something out there felt like I belonged amongst all this beauty.
My father always told me that silence is a time to reflect and observe. And it took me to this year of my life to understand what he meant. So one of my favorite things to do, even when I'm at work, when I'm tired, I'm just down and out, I just go sit outside on a bench, just breathe the air, just soak up the sun, just hear, just listen to the nature. And it's just, yeah, like you said, just knowing that you're a part of, amongst of all of this beauty that's going on, it's like, yo, this is raw.
For real. Sometimes I'm just like, wow. Like, I don't even know. Like, it's just, I can't even put it into words. Like, I know for a period in time last year, I was just like, I didn't believe that I was worthy of being amongst all of this. And I know some people are just like, this world is such a terrible place. The planet is perfect.
It is. It really, really is. And like I said, when you start to understand that there's a lot more good out here than bad, you'll understand that understanding alone will bring you peace, and it'll bring you fulfillment. And in the last video, I said that I feel like fulfillment is also something that's, you know, related to beauty. And when you were talking about how you run into people that are just so loving and they exalt so much positive energy, when you fill yourself up with positivity, fill yourself up with beautiful things, fill yourself up with knowledge and courage and strength and all of that, that's what people will see when they see you. That's how people will feel when they're around you.
Because it's pouring out of you. Like, you don't even got no room no more. It's just pouring out of you. And it's like, yeah, I'm full of myself. And that's why I'm able to pour into other people.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because if you only a half of a cup and you trying to pour half of your little bitty cup into somebody else that got half of a cup, you know, your energy, you draining your energy.
Make a mess.
Yes.
Now, why do you feel like people are intimidated by beauty?
I think it's because they haven't acknowledged their own beauty, and to a certain extent, running into somebody, you know, that's physically beautiful or even that exudes a certain energy, they almost feel less than.
Mm-hmm.
And it's almost like it's a threat because it's something that they feel that they don't have, or it's something that they feel that they can't have. But it's just like, I don't know, I run into people, I feel like everybody kind of serves as a mirror to me. So if I see somebody and I notice something that's just so beautiful, I'm like, I know that gotta be somewhere in me.
We gotta be connected somehow, some way.
Yeah.
Now, in today's age, today's fashion, today's trends, all of that, a lot of the stuff some people may deem extra, people deem unnecessary, but then there are others who feel like, yo, this is beautiful, you should embrace it no matter where you are and who you are or whatever. So do you feel like there's a time and place for certain things, or do you feel like beauty, whatever people's definition of beauty is, should be enhanced all the time?
So I do feel like there's a time and place to be extra. I feel like there's a time and a place to be chill, to be yourself. right now, I feel like this is just the era of extra all the time at the gas station, running to the grocery store,
Parent-teacher conferences.
Parent-teacher conferences, like, sometimes I just be looking around at what's going on now, and I'm like, I don't know who looks goofy, me or you, because you got on all this drip. And I'm over here just plain Jane. So I don't know where I fit in at in the spectrum of what's going on now. But I definitely do feel like there's a time and place. Even with like the wig phenomenon right now, like that was going on in the 1800s. That was going on in ancient Egypt. You know, I guess it's the status thing. I don't know what it is now, but I really do think that looking back on this era is going to be hilarious.
It's gonna be crazy.
It's gonna be funny.
Gonna be, yeah.
I'm gonna be like, baby, I don't know what they was thinking with these eyelashes. Come on.
The yellow, the lime. I think my least favorite is the lime green hair.
The lime green hair.
Yeah.
It's slime season though.
I just can't. I can't. It's. I don't know what it is. It's just.
I don't like it either. I don't.
And you know, within asking that question, I think I just realized, because before we started filming, we were discussing that particular question, and I think that maybe, well, not maybe, I think that a lot of people, even if something is beautiful to you and it's less appeasing to someone, it's still yours and it's still beautiful to you. But I think that a lot of people are not mindful of what others, and you know, and there goes the question is, do we always have to be mindful of others' opinions and their comfort zones? And I don't know.
But on the flip side of that, you could look at it as like, are some of these trends because of the lack of mindfulness? Like, is this really something that I want to do, or have I just been seeing, you know, on the media, you know, on social media, have I been seeing this and that's something that I want to do because, you know, that's what's in and what's popping right now, as opposed to, you know, because I was talking to a friend the other day and she was like, being different isn't always, you know, how you fold up your pants or how you put a crease in your shirt. It's not always that. Being different sometimes is literally just, I'm not really into that trend. Like, that's cool, that's what you into, but I'm not. But, you know, then there are other people that it is a big form of expression. But I feel like there's a thin line between like expression and, you know, trend chasing.
Absolutely. I completely understand that. So, and I don't mean to offend anybody by this, but enhanced beauty, I feel like, is a trend. I feel like eventually this is going to fade away. I feel like we're going to go back to natural beauty. I think so. I pray so. I hope so. And I truly believe so. I really do.
I'm just waiting for that. I'm an advocate for that. You know, like just plain and simple, like just 90s, like not too much. The weaves was still believable. Like, even if the hair ain't pink these days, sometimes it's so straight. I'm
and
like,
it's like, sis, that blend ain't really.
I'm like, why is it so straight? we can still opt for weaves that look, you know, a little
more natural.
A little more natural than that, because that's what kind of flat irons? I want to know. I wouldn't mind getting oppressed with.
Maybe it's them new Bluetooth ones. I don't know. The Bluetooth flat irons?
No.
You've never seen them?
No.
You guys, they have Bluetooth flat irons out here. So I guess, like, if you say I know me, I don't have a lot of outlets around my living room. So if I want to sit in front of the TV to do my hair and it ain't no outlet right there, I could just make sure I charge them up and then take them in the living room and.
No, that's not for the house. That's for on the go.
That's for work. That is for work.
I promise you, I'm probably gonna see somebody in traffic like, girl, get that.
They killing us with the technology. They killing us.
I'm amazed at how far technology has come.
Really,
because I used to get hit with the hot comb, and now apparently you can flat iron your hair in the car on go, or you head into the gas station.
So why do you think that enhanced beauty is such a go-to thing now for young women and even older women?
I do think that a lot of it has to do with the media and social media. Because it's just, we are bombarded with these false images of what beauty is. Like, don't get me wrong, it's fun to express yourself sometimes. It's fun to, you know, switch up your look and everything, but social media is crazy when it comes to the images that we're bombarded with. Just the, you know, it makes you uncomfortable. And I know I take a lot of breaks from Instagram, but it's because I'll find myself scrolling on my explore page like, dang, why don't I draw my eyebrows on every day? Why don't I put makeup on before I leave the house every day? And I find myself almost feeling bad to be myself because of what I'm bombarded with. Or even when it comes to how I dress. Like, I never was one to care about designer. I was a thrift store kid.
I still am. I'm not ashamed.
And it's like, now I'll be scrolling and I'll be like, dang, I want Gucci. I don't. But, you know, Instagram, I do feel like social media. And honestly, in the big, broad spectrum of this lifetime, I do think that it's a constant battle between our soul and our flesh. And I think a lot of what we're being bombarded with, we're getting pulled further and further away from ourselves. And we're learning so much more how to identify with this. And that's not that phase that goes away. We need to get back to this and get back to this.
Absolutely.
This is what lasts.
I agree. So, I mean, with all of this is going on, do you have like young ladies in your family who you're close with, like your little sisters, little cousins? Because I have a lot of little sisters.
Not little sisters, but I do have during the school year 2 groups of girls that I have a little group with to kind of help them be comfortable with who they are. So that I do eventually want to expand on that, but and I mean it's girls that reach out to me as well. I don't have little sisters or anything like that, but I do have girls that kind of look to me.
Because I'm just trying to figure out ways that we can let little girls know today that it's okay to be who you are. It's okay to look the way you look. It's okay to not put weave in your hair. It's okay to be yourself, because every little girl is beautiful. Every human being is beautiful to me. And I just want to figure out ways that we can enhance that knowledge within them. Like, little girl, you are fine just the way you are. Don't put on those jeans. Don't tie up that shirt. Don't put that weave in your head. It's unnecessary, you know? I'm just trying to figure out ways to convey that message to them. Especially my little sister in middle school. Because I know that middle school was a tough time for me when it came to my image. We didn't have many when I was growing up. So I was always, rocking the little plain t-shirts that you got $5 to $10 while everybody was in the fresh clothes. They had all the jewelry. Everybody's hair was always done. I was one of those kids who didn't have all of that. So I'm trying to figure out ways to speak to those little girls,
So one thing is, I know this is so cliche, but it has to start with us.
I believe that 100%.
And the image that we show these little girls, because it's like, if you showing up, makeup always done, like my mother, she always had her makeup done, had her nails done, her hair was always done. Like, if her nails weren't done, somebody thought she was sick. So for me, for a long time, I absorbed that, and I felt that I was no more than just my physicality growing up. And you run into a lot of issues when you only identify with what's on the outside. So I do believe that just starting with how you look when you talk to them. You don't want to be like overdone. You want to let them know, like, hey, you can be comfortable in your skin because I'm comfortable in my skin. And then from there, talk to them. I know they're kids, but we have to talk to the kids because they absorb so much more than what we give them credit for. they're just sponges. Their subconscious is downloading constantly, whether they're in the room listening to us, whether they're actually looking, or whether they see it out of their peripheral, and that's downloading as their autopilot for the rest of their life. Whereas your conscious mind, that comes in a little bit later, where you're able to differentiate, like, I don't know. But that's, way after the subconscious has already been laid. So talk to them, see what they feeling, see what they've absorbed, see how they feel about themselves, see what they're seeing. Try to get a feel for what they're seeing through their eyes when they look at themselves. Just talk to them. They got voices, whether they're kids or not.
And even if they are kids, they're not just kids. They're little human beings that are growing into adults just like us.
And how to process through their emotions, because a lot of times kids, we have to teach them their emotions and what's okay and what's not okay. And honestly, all of our emotions are okay, and I feel like a lot of us got stunted in that department of feeling like, okay, this is a bad emotion, but I'm supposed to express it in a healthy way. So just even helping them be able to articulate their emotions and what they're feeling, whether it be like an insecurity, because it's like at the time in middle school, I'm sure for you knew, like, I don't feel good about myself, and you never really got to express that, to your parents or to an adult, or even if you did, it was just kind of like, well, I can't afford it,
or you look fine the way you are.
Yeah,
okay.
And it's like, but that's not what I'm feeling. So it's almost like we had to suppress a lot of things about the way that we felt about ourselves. So I do think just talking to the girls, getting them to open up, and helping them uplift each other. Because a lot of times, cliques start soon. Little girls get ostracized in second grade, like just because.
I was a program director for an elementary school, and the things that I heard in the first grade classroom was ridiculous.
It's wow.
I even had one of my kids come to school with a pair of tiny heels on, couldn't even walk in her heels, and I'm like, why'd you bring these shoes to school? Oh, my mommy had the same shoes on, and she said I looked okay because I looked just like her. So it starts with us. It starts with us as women. It starts at home.
Definitely. So we gotta, and even if and it's sad to say, but sometimes kids don't get what they need at home. So it's honestly takes a village. It's up to.
It's
up to us. It's really up to us. Like, even if you just see a little girl, like, and she got the little I was notorious for the fuzzies. My hair was never laid down.
Sure.
Let her know, like, you look so pretty today. You look so pretty today. Because you know what? Your hair is just reaching up towards the. Don't tell her that, though. But, like, that's how I feel. Like,
Hey, I mean, I understand. But even
coily hair does grow towards the heavens. I mean, I'm just saying.
You're reaching up to the heavens. You're reaching up to the sun. You're reaching up to the universe. You're defying gravity.
Antennas.
Yeah.
I really be jealous of flowers, because I just be like, look at y'all. Flowers are they're the most. They just reach up towards the sky, and I used to be like, I want to be like that. And then once I start, getting into it, I'm like, I guess I kind of am like that. Okay.
So, babe, if you're watching, you don't have to always flower in your hair. You can let it be, let it grow, let it reach, let it stretch.
And that's a whole different level of confidence when you're just like, just the flower that I am. It don't mean that I'm any less of a flower.
Like, in my adult life, I can probably count on, I'm not going to say one hand, that's over exaggerated. I can probably count on two hands how many times I've worn my hair, like, just out in a puff, like in an afro. And this week I did it, last week, because the next is start of a new week. Last week I wore my hair out the entire week. And I was like, it feels so good. It felt so good to not be confined to what, the standards of beauty that we're faced with today is. It felt so good. So what I said in my last video was, be a you to feel beautiful.
Yeah, seriously, I like that.
So what do you feel like one of your greatest strengths are?
Oh, my greatest strengths. Pain, resilience, love. done been through quite a bit. I've been knocked down quite a few times off my little soapbox. And I do feel that has shaped me into a rather empathetic person, to be very understanding. Like, a lot of times when people talk to me, I don't really feel like anything that they say or have been through is beyond my understanding. I can't necessarily say like, oh, I understand you, but I feel it though. I can understand pain. I might not necessarily understand your specific situation, but I definitely, I know pain. 2 is resilience. My mom used to tell me, oh, you're so hard-headed, you're so stubborn. Why don't you, there's all these people that have shown you the right way to do things. Why do you have to do things your way? You can learn from everybody else. And I started realizing, like, okay, I'm hard-headed and I have to do things my way, and a lot of people turn to me for advice. So maybe I'm one of the people that get picked for people to learn from. Maybe. Just a theory. And I don't mind that.
One thing that my grandmother told me is resilience is a better trait to have than adaptability, because your ability to be able to withstand pressure and withstand persuasion is showing that you have power within yourself. So
I've always been, you know, like I got knocked down pretty bad a couple times. Some of it, well, all of it, a lot of it was my own doing. But I'll be like, what didn't work? Let's keep going, keep moving. And also, I would say resilience has given me the ability to see, you know, resistance on the horizon and be like, all right, let's rumble. I'm not really too worried about what's coming my way anymore, but I think that also ties into, you know, faith and knowing that something wants me here. God, whatever y'all call it, universal, the source field, yeah. And love. So you go through pain, you pick yourself back up, and you realize the infinite love that has brought you to the point that you're at, because it's not something that's awarded to me. So it teaches me as well to be loving and understand, like, people get knocked down, there's other people that are resilient. I'm not special in any way, shape, or form, but I'm special in every way, shape, and form, just like everybody else is. So love also is just like, oh, I gotta spread love. I gotta spread love. We need more love. I gotta save the world. I really did used to think I had to save the world. Like, for a long time, I'm like, I gotta save the world. And then I started realizing that just saving one little person's day, just one person, just for a moment in their day.
Butterfly effect. You save someone, they save someone, and it just...
And to save someone, just one person's world. It might not be the whole world, but just to, you know, restore someone else's faith in themselves. Like, man, listen, you got this, man. Everybody go through it. And I'm not saying there's no hierarchy in pain at all, but come on, just keep pushing. We all rooting for you.
That's beautiful, and I don't want to say, I was trying to stray away from using that word, but that is beautiful. That's beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
So, what do you feel like you do for the world? Because I can imagine that people gravitate towards you for a lot.
I smile.
That's amazing.
No, I smile.
Not enough people smile. That's amazing.
And I will say that I do my best to spread more love. I feel like love is so lost amongst us. But okay, so working in customer service, to wrap this full circle, never used to smile. Never used to smile at my people when they came to my line. I was just like, hey. So after I met that lady, or, you know, actually understood a little bit better, I started being like, okay, all right, I can smile. I would smile at everybody, and I noticed that, like, the more I smiled at people, the better my day would become. And then I would be trying to figure out how I could get my customer to be smiling when they walked away from the counter so that the next person would smile back at them. So I would try to get this little chain going, because then I start doing my research about smiles, and apparently when you smile, even if it's fake, it sends off the same chemicals in your brain, the same happy chemicals. So I'm like, oh, well, I can trick all these people into thinking they're having a good day. I can just give them a smile. That's cool with me. And then the next person, and I really did believe that I could change the world with a smile. Like, that started.
You really can, yeah.
You really can with one smile, just from one person to the next. And like I said, I don't think we're all the same person. So it's just like, I have no reason to not smile at people. It's the weirdest thing to me when I pass somebody in the grocery store and I'll be like, hey, how's it going? And they're just like,
it's so weird to me when people do that. And I'm like, I don't understand. I literally don't understand how some people don't smile, or why some people won't smile. I don't understand.
So I'll be like, I'm gonna get you. Somebody gonna get you. I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you to smile before it's said and done.
So I hope that you all are smiling now that we've come to the end of this video.
Please do if you're not, and just try it. Even if you feel goofy, just crack a little fake smile and see if it, or try laughing. Just listen to.
Oh my
music.
gosh! I know you guys have seen that meme on like Instagram or Twitter when a little girl, she's taking a picture and she's like, and by the end of the video, she's just cracking up at herself.
For real,
She's cracking up. You saw it?
No.
Oh my gosh! I gotta go find it because it's hilarious. She's not even doing nothing but making herself laugh, and it's just freaking hilarious, So I don't know. But I might have to run and go grab something. You want to tell the people where they can maybe contact you at if...
Sure. So, you can find me at Favela Baby on Instagram, FAVELABABY. I try to post uplifting stuff. I have a couple I was doing a Throwback Thursday series of all the things that I've been through that can kind of maybe help you get through some things that you're going through. I hope that something that you find on my page resonates. So yeah, that's me. Thanks for tuning in.
Thank you. Such a pleasure to have you, really.
Thank you for having me.
It's a lot of uplifting energy in this room, and I really do hope that when you guys watch this video, you can feel it too. But before you leave, I'd like to gift you a shirt. With our little show logo on it.
This is really cute.
Thank you.
Mental, emotional, physical. Yes, holistic.
Because actually, something that you said earlier made me level up customs. Excuse me, you guys, if you want anything custom made.
Sure.
But one thing that you said earlier, when you smile, it literally sends chemicals to your brain, happy chemicals to your brain, those endorphins. So literally, you guys, a lot of things, if not everything that we encounter in our daily lives impacts us mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually. And I really want you guys to understand that. That's why we are here. That's why she was here, giving the knowledge that she had. That's why I'm here, bringing these people here, to share their knowledge with y'all. And I just really want you guys to understand. Because to me, my biggest help in realizing my true potential was understanding. And within understanding, you will find fulfillment. And within fulfillment, you'll feel beautiful. So until again, you guys,